What's going on, guys? I'm here today with my dad's Explorer ST. Yes, we have matching cars. Not the same color, mine's black, his silver, but still 2021 Explorer STs. This one is a little different. Mine is the fully loaded performance version. This one has the street pack on it, so it's got the nice wheels and brakes and the moonroof, but the seats are base model, the screen is base model, the infotainment is base model also. This is also a 3-bolt rear end. Mine is a 4-bolt rear end, and one of the pieces that we are putting today, you have to put it on a little differently on the 4-bolt rear end, so I will show you guys that. We have a few pieces to put on this car today. We're going to start off with the AWR differential brace mount. We're going to go on to the Steeda Strut Tower Brace, and we're also going to put in a K&N Drop in filter. Just good stuff for the car, support its power, and on a 3-bolt rear end, you definitely need it too. So as we could tell, this is a 3-bolt rear end, all right? So there's one of these bushings with the bolts missing from right here. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna take this bolt out. We're gonna reach under here to take this bolt out. There's a little plate that's gonna slide into here across. The mount is gonna come right here, bolting into here, into these, and we're good to go. It's really gonna give it an extra support that the car didn't come with. I don't know why they didn't just put the 4 bolts in all the Explorers. I mean, even the base model Explorers, like the regular ones, have it. So that's a little weird to me, but whatever. Now this bolt right here, it does not come straight out because it will hit the frame. So you kind of have to, once you take it all the way out, you have to angle it to the side a little bit and then wiggle it down. Putting it back in with the piece itself is going to be a little tricky. Let's see how we're going to get to that. Now, please, if you do this job, please do not start or even attempt this without buying yourself a E18 ratcheting wrench. Guys, there's no way around this, I promise you. They say you could use like a 14mm socket. I promise you, if you try it, you're going to strip this thing. So go out, all right? I got this on Amazon. It was about 20 bucks. Worth it, all right? Just 20, forget about it, and you're done. Fits perfect and makes the job super easy. AWR says that you should first start off by putting the plate in here and then bolting up the top piece. I'm gonna tell you, don't do that. That's actually a little tougher than what they say. So what I did on my car, at least, and it was a lot easier, and I'm gonna do it on this one too. We're gonna start with the bottom piece that goes on the differential. Now, put the bolt, the top bolt that you took off already, put it in here, preset it, and then try to finagle the entire piece itself in there. This will need both hands and a little working into, so you can get the bolt back into the hole. Hand tighten it, and then get the bottom piece in there. And you can tighten it almost all the way down once you have that piece in. And once that's in there, you wanna tighten up these bolts, both of them. Not all the way tightened down, just snug so it's in there. AWR does provide you with this little plate over here with the bolts, with the nuts facing up. We're gonna slide it in sideways through that middle hole and go over to the other side, making sure that that tab, sorry, ant was on me, making sure that that tab is on the outside. So slide it in and then pull it back to the side. And you can see that the holes line up. We're gonna grab this plate. We're gonna put it on with this little shield facing outwards. All right, this is gonna be held in by the supplied hardware. All right, these are 14mm bolts. And then the center pin that goes in is a 19mm on both sides. So just so you guys know, obviously this is a 4-bolt rear end. This is my car. You can install this on a 4-bolt rear end, and it actually helps a lot. I don't suggest you install this if you're like stock or just like a couple mods to it, but if you're tuning it and you have a lot of extra torque, definitely put this on. It will help you. Problem with this pin, the little slider that goes into here, you're not going to be able to slide it up into here and balance it out because there's a sleeve around this bolt. So this little sleeve right here that you see, the silver line, that goes straight through it. All right, so once you try to put it in here, it's going to bang into here. It's going to be impossible. What you got to do is go straight up, get this tip all the way in there, and then like kind of like get your finger in here and finagle it a little bit and try to push it that way. Slide it all the way to here, and then through here and here, using both hands, obviously, push it and slide it all the way across. That's literally the only way you're going to be able to get this. All right, so everything's put into place. I didn't tighten anything all the way, so everything's still a little loose, just so you have some wiggle room. Now, to center this hole right here, the best thing to use isn't a pick or anything like most people use. It's actually a 3/8 extension, because it's just thin enough to align it perfectly, but not too thick to kind of fuck it up. And that's it. Looks good. Everything's in there tight. It's honestly a really beautiful piece, and it sticks out too. I don't think you can see it from the car behind you, but I mean, if you look from like a couple cars down behind you, you could definitely kind of see it sticking out a little bit. Definitely nice. Good addition to the board exhaust we have here.
Moving on now to the strut tower brace. So we have the stock one over here. It's pretty thin, it's pretty flimsy. It's only held in by 2 bolts on each side. So we're gonna unbolt those, take the old one out, just put the new one right back on top. Now, before we bolt it on, the front bolts, you do have to put a spacer in there that is supplied and switch it out to the supplied hardware bolt. Afterwards, just tighten it back up and you're all good to go. This is a beautiful piece, and you can tell the difference once you start driving it. It's a lot tighter in the turns.
All right, now moving on to the intake filter. So we got flathead screwdriver to open these bad boys up right here. Gonna pull them out. You have a clip right here and the same one right behind it on the side. We may have to disconnect the sensor. We might be able to get away with just like kind of like prying it open and slipping out, slipping back in the filter, and we're good to go. So for now, flathead screwdriver, 2 clips, we're good to go. So here's the old filter, pretty trashed, really thick compared to the performance K&N filter. Also, this is reusable. Just like, I think it's every year or so you have to, depending on how much you drive, you have to re-wick this with oil. But other than that, this thing's pretty much good for life, and a lot more air is going to get into the intake. What I do want to point out though is look how much trash there's in here. So before we put anything, let's get a vacuum in here and clean all this stuff out. Filter's in. It is a little oily, so either wear a glove or make sure to wipe your hands right after putting it back before you touch anything, so you don't get oil all over the place. Let's put everything back, clip it back in, start the car, see if everything runs smooth. All right, guys, everything is installed and looking great. Just came back from a test drive to really break it in, push the limits a little bit, see if there's a difference. You can feel a little more tightness in the launches and also in the turning. So obviously it's there. You feel a little more response in the gas pedal from the filter. Could just be my head, but also I do drive this car every now and then. I compare it to my car also, so I can tell a little difference. It's good stuff, guys. If you are an owner of an Explorer ST, definitely go for these things. They're worth the money, and they're pretty easy to install compared to other things that's out there. So I'll see you guys in the next one.